All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another MKU Primetime match. For this one, we're going to be heading down to D3 between Yoshi Family Galaxy and Dynamite Alpha. The stakes are very high for this one. Dynamite Alpha is in the middle of an all out battle for their conference. MA and TRP sit atop the conference 5 and 5 each. Dynamite Alpha 4 and 5. However, Dynamite Alpha has won the tiebreaker against each of these teams. So, if they can win this match, they can make playoffs.
Yeah, sure thing. And Yoshi family, they don't really have the same pressure on them because I think they have ensured a win in their conference, if I recall correctly.
They have clinched playoffs in the second wild card.
Oh yeah, they won a wild card. So yeah, Dynamite has all the pressure, and we hope they do well under pressure because some teams just step it up when they have pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah, for sure. If you're Yoshi family, you really have no pressure from this match. You still want to do well and win and, show that you're the second best team in the division. But for DY, this is win or go home. So there's a lot more on the line for them, and they're going to be fighting harder than Yoshi Family for sure. So I'm really excited to see if that can pay off for them.
Yeah, and also DY are using Bastion or Ownesy, so they have only played half the matches this far, and usually been doing pretty well, like points wise. So I'm excited to see if that'll help DY to get this win.
Yeah, a bit of a lineup change for DY as the season has progressed. They had a sort of a shaky start to the season. They dropped quite a few matches, but at some point mid-season with the add of Ownesy and sort of getting their lineup sorted out, they had a few huge weeks and they clawed all the way back. And now they control their destiny here. A win here sends them into the four-seeded playoffs. Well, actually, a win here would put them second seed. My bad.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
interesting
I'm
to me.
super interested in this match. It's so cool when you have these last week matches because there's just always so much on the line, and
Hmm.
that's the best scenarios if you ask me.
Yeah, it has to suck a little bit if you're TRP, but TRP does have the fourth wildcard slot right now. So what we're looking at here is if DY does lose the match, we would be looking at TRP and MA both making it. MA would win the conference, and TRP would be second, I believe. But if DY wins, they win the conference, and then I believe MA would be the wild card seed.
That is correct from what I've like math from the math I've done before the match at least. So yeah, I just want to get this started.
Yeah,
Ah,
me too. I'm excited, man.
yeah, same man.
So we're taking a little look at these lineups here. I recognize all of these Mii's having faced these teams um, many times. So we're looking at Alex, TIC, Holland, Yugo, and Pillou from YF. And then on Dynamite side, you have Chemo, Spork, Onesi, Low, Akiko, and Alfie. So both teams running their top lineups for this match.
Yeah, and that's just good for us who are watching this, because that just means we get to see the best level of play we can possibly get out of this match.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting to see who pulls ahead here because, to me personally, I think both of these teams are very even in level. Uh, Dynamite might be an underdog, but I definitely don't think they have like a big gap between these two teams.
Yeah, for sure. Like from what I've seen from Division 3, it seems like the division overall is pretty even. Aside from what was the team who won Conference A?
Inkling Fingers.
Yeah, Inkling Fingers, because they have been kind of running ahead, from
Hmm.
what I've seen. But every other team seems pretty evenly matched for the most part. So yeah,
Yeah,
and we see
especially.
the war starting. So
Mhm.
let's go.
Especially talking about that conference B, you almost never really see like almost a three-way tie heading into the last week, but that's what we're looking at here essentially. If Dynamite Alpha can win here, three teams in Conference B would be 5-5.
Yeah, and that's a scenario that definitely can happen. And I do feel bad though for DRP today because they had to drop out of the match, the
Hmm.
first match today, because they were only five. So they tried to play 5v6, but that's really rough in this game at this level.
Yeah, but credit to TRP there because they were able to get six for the next match and get a decisive win over Mushroom Team. So they put themselves in a position where if YF does win this match, they are making playoffs.
Yeah, and so it's mostly Dynamite and TRP that has something on this line on the line for this one. Then.
Hmm. And YF getting their track pick here, they get to start off on Wario Stadium and they have the big top four here.
Yeah, classic front run track in this game. Definitely something you want for the first race if you have multiple top positions, and we'll see how DY deals with this.
Yeah, DY gonna have to get some drafts here at the start, maybe hope to bump some of YF, because that's really all you have if you're starting in the back on this track. It is a really rough first lap.
Yeah, you just kind of have to get some items, potentially a shroom, and try to not get bumped and get some draft, and then you can make it to the front, but it's really, really hard.
Yeah, I
As we
think we're,
see, well, almost get redded, but
yeah. Oh, that green
ooh,
coming up, not connecting with low. Triple greens from Ownesy, but we were looking at a 2-3 from DY. Now they have low in first. So that's a pretty good lap one if you're DY there.
oh, for sure. Like they couldn't ask for more, honestly. And we see Chemo up here. We have Ownesy in seven, obviously. Did we have one more? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Togepi is there as well. So this is super good for DY.
I'm not sure actually what connected with Ownesy there, but I think we're looking at a 1-4-5-6 unless low got hit out here.
Yeah, and if DY can pull some reds here, they can definitely get a really, really good race. Let's see what Ownesy pulls in this box,
Yeah,
if
they have
anything.
some pressure from Holland there. You see him trailing a red in fourth. Shrooms only for DY, but
Almost get hit that Nana, but it was fine. That red Chemo instead of Ownesy. But
yeah,
oh no,
another
get
red pull.
that shroom pull was so unfortunate. That was definitely not the item you wanted there. It was kind of risky to go ahead, but they did, and they paid the price for it.
Yeah, if you're pulling only shrooms, your only hope is to try to get in front of some other people who maybe have protection. But there was no one in between Onesi there as the fire rakes through these bottom spot players.
And do we have DY bottom three? Who's the me in the back?
The me in the back is TIC, so it is a last place being held by YF. I think where it's going to be a bit of a mixed race. That Waluigi in first held his spot the entire race.
And that's Pillou. But 2-3-4 for DY, so this is a pretty even race overall. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at a 2-3-4-8-9-10 from DY. If you're DY, that's really, really good. I honestly could not ask for more if the other team was starting top four and you found a way to get 2-3-4 when all three laps are said and done. So, they got to be feeling pretty good about that +4 race.
Yeah, getting a winning race on Wario Stadium when the other team is top four, it's amazing. That's
Hmm.
exactly the Wario Stadium race you want. And do we get all the planes? Or oh, the stream is going a bit back.
Okay,
Uh,
we're going to Yoshi Valley here.
yeah, and that was Yoshi family's pick.
Hmm.
If I if my eyes don't deceive me, they have always liked this track. Even
Hmm.
back in like the previous game, they always pick this track. So I'm
Look,
excited to
man,
see if they're strong on it.
Yoshi family, they have to stay on brand with the Yoshi circuit, That's just how it's got to be. It's definitely more of a bagging track, so it was a smart pick for them to go here with dealing with that 2-3-4 from DY.
Yeah, for sure. And if you can get like the shock, it's so it's not rare at all on this track. So if they can get the shock, get DY top two, or now Loic has made it into second, so
Hmm.
they may not even need shock anymore. But yeah, shock is such a deciding factor. And nice trail by Spork.
Yeah, Spork landing the trail, but the fire from Pillou connects very solid. I think we're now looking at a huge top from YF.
Yeah, do I see top four for YF, or maybe even top five?
Yeah, we're looking at a top five from YF right now. But, if you're YF, this may not be the most comfortable position you can be on this track because, as you noted, Shock is really powerful here. And now Dynamite has a chance to just send a few guys back there. And if they can get it, it could be cataclysmic for this top
Yeah,
four, top five.
and we see YF chaining items here, maybe trying to get something like a boo or maybe a shroom for the cut, but preferably a boo would be very, very good at this position.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge here if you're YF trying to pull a boo though, because their top four is like right on top of each other. They can get shrooms, and it looks like they have a horn in first as well. But
Ooh, nice
being on
break.
top of each other, yeah, it's not the best thing.
No, but if there's no shock, this race is gonna be a very nice revenge for Yoshi family.
Ooh,
And nice banana snipe by
yeah,
Chemo, I assume.
but he gets a bit punished for that because Pillow with that shroom able to catch up and then have triple greens after. So here's the moment of truth: is there going to be a shock? And I don't. Well,
Yes, there is.
right as I was about to say, I don't see one. Here comes a dynamite shock and
And
all
the
of their
red
players
skip.
coming up.
And we see DY potentially getting like top four this race.
Yeah, that was an amazing shock from DY, able to pull it and at least break up that top four at the very least. Oh, I
Oh, wait,
I don't know
still
what happened there.
I assume some YF members actually must have dodged because the DY members are coming fast.
Yeah, some play must have been made there that perhaps we didn't see because I was sold on the fact that Chemo was getting first. You saw him dodge and then have triple shrooms basically in second. So I'm kind of shocked that he did not get a top three spot there. I would love to know what play happened there, but YF getting an optimal ending there after that shock.
Yeah, and they got the revenge they needed, and now DY is the team that's behind again. So let's see what track they pick to try to get back.
Yeah, and they're gonna head out with an RMC here. They sort of have to hope they get that pick because they probably do not want to be playing NBC with YF top three, just due to the nature of that track. So hopefully, if you're Dynamite Alpha, you get your pick, and it is NBC. I think that's not the worst thing if you're Dynamite Alpha because of the shrooms that you can pull to take the cut at the start, but that's definitely good for YF still.
Yeah, and this track, I don't you don't see the shock too often, but it's really strong if it happens, like
Hmm.
most tracks. So if I was DY now, I'd definitely send someone to the back instantly in case DY are not able to break this top three.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think it is almost impossible to break top spots once they're established at a certain point in this track. So having a bagger back there from DY would definitely be advantageous. But I think what we're looking at right now is a 2-3 from DY who possibly able to take that cut.
Yeah, and they only need to take out Pillow, but he is trailing. So, ooh,
Lands the
nice
snipe
snipe by
too.
Pillow.
That was very nice. But he still has all of Dynamite behind him.
Yeah, so it seems Dynamite has gotten a pretty good beginning to this race. We do see, ooh, oh,
Oh
almost hit that
man.
snipe. That would be great.
And in the
And
back.
now YF is in a good position again. And like I said, I think this is time for DY to take a step back, go for the shock. We see a Waluigi decently far behind.
Yeah, for sure. We just saw right there two of Dynamite getting hit out. We can only imagine it's at least a top three from YF right now. So at this point, Dynamite is gonna want to have like not just chemo back there, but they might even want to send somebody else back there to stop on these sets and just go for a shock.
Ooh, but missing the box Pillow. It's not the worst since he was in a star, and it's getting unused at here, but missing two items from that, so kind of unfortunate.
Yeah,
No shock
indeed.
for Pillow.
It looks like Pillow just trying to use his star here. He's not going to slow down for shock. It actually doesn't look like there's much distance for Chemo either to pull shock, missing on the map, but it
And we see
it
Low
looks like
getting hit by the top spot again, so we can only assume that YF is definitely winning this race by
and
a
yeah,
lot.
that star coming in too pretty brutal for them. It looks like Chemo was super far back there. Maybe he was in a ghost, but that is at least a top 2 from YF.
Yeah, even a top 3, 6. Oh, that's a really, really good race for YF. And now
Hmm.
DY has so much pressure.
Yeah,
Because they
there's a
need to win
lot.
this match.
Hmm. And it kind of just comes down to I think the pack was so close that by the time they started sending people back there, I don't think there was time for them to make something happen.
No, I think the bagger would have to be further behind if the shock was going to be likely. So, slight misplay perhaps? Or maybe they
Mhm.
thought they could get the top spots, but
I mean,
yeah.
certainly we did see DY in 2-3 immediately on lap 1, but Pillow and his teammates were able to really defend their top presence there and defend it quite well.
Yeah, and we get RMC, a track where anything can happen really.
Hmm.
So hopefully for us watching the stream and for DY, we get a good race for them.
Yeah, I remember last night on Primetime as well, we saw this RMC pick from a team in bottom spots, and we were talking about, how broken of a bagger this track can be. But if shock doesn't happen, it's a run track. If there is no shock, the people who are in top spots are very likely going to hold those top spots. So if YF can get a front presence here, and if there is no shock from DY, then Pillou should be home free.
Yeah, Pillow should have this race pretty comfortably because the only good shroom spot for one shroom is the end cut, and you can do that shroomless. So, ooh, some shenanigans with the crazy eight there. I didn't exactly catch what happened, but I think Low took that star.
Yeah, low now taking the build cut here. I'm going to assume that's a Dynamite Alpha player back there and last in the build cut as well. We actually see 3 bills here, all coming out from DY. So maybe a chance for YF to pull a shock here.
Yeah, because you see a YF player in the back with the me, but great spot for Low, honestly. Having this
Hmm.
many, maybe should have kept one more shroom, honestly.
Yeah, he might be just hoping to pull an item he can just take one shroom cut in and then maybe try to trail Pillow out.
But do you take
He
the cut
has
here?
only
You
shrooms.
will get redded.
Yeah, and there it happens. But he does have his teammates all around him. Maybe they can pull something off. It looks like a lot of DY in here, and they were able to kill Pillou as well. I think we're gonna see a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 perhaps from DY.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, and that's indeed what we get. So small comeback from DY. You go keeping some points for YF though with that first.
Yeah, I think what we saw was another shockless RMC, which I've now seen twice in 2 days on prime time, which is very interesting. But it worked out for Dynamite because at the end of that lap 3, they had every single spot behind first, and so they were just able to hold those.
Yeah, and they did some key player takeouts as well at the end there. So yeah,
Hmm.
good play by DY. And only a minus 20 now. It was minus 20, 38 or something
Hmm.
before this race, so that's a great,
Yeah, it was.
great.
So if you're Dynamite, that's the momentum change you wanted. Your track pick worked out. Even if you didn't get shock, it worked amazingly well for them. And now they're right back in striking distance for this war, and they're going RMP.
An RMP kind of similar to Wario Stadium in function. Like very rough to advance in the pack lap 1, and after that it's really hard to advance at all, really.
Yeah, if you're DY, their plan is to try to get some drafts here at the start and sort of bully Yugo, if you will. Try to just bump him and make him go slower, and then pass him.
But
If
we
you're
see
Yoshi family.
DY had that unfortunate burnout though that
Mhm.
makes it so they're oh, and they trail themselves. That's
Yeah,
not the great start from DY.
yeah, a bit of a miscommunication there, perhaps. Ownesy probably wanting to either throw a green up or try to trail Yugo there. But it still looks like at least second place being held down by DY here.
And misses that snipe, does Pillow. So still keeping that second, but it's really close. And
Ooh,
no, the
that Nana
trade.
came in. I'm not sure from where, but it was very, very nice if you're Dynamite because it took all of the pressure off of Ownesy, and now I think we're looking at a 2-3 from Dynamite.
Yeah, but we see Pillow using this fire and his red very,
And
very
this
well.
fire.
So I think YF is definitely keeping pace on this race.
Yeah,
And
but
that random green, where did it come from?
a green coming from somewhere to put a crimp in Pillou's day. He's still back here to sort of sour the mood for these DY players who want to catch up, however. And we see a blue coming out, so that's going to be huge for DY, assuming they are still in that 2-3 position.
Yeah, but it's I'm not even sure if they are anymore. Because we still see YF in first.
Yeah, I think there was a Kiko's Me up there, and we saw another YF member spin out. So I think what we're looking at right now is a Kiko and Onesi top two, but also a Togepi low bottom two. So this is going to be an interesting end of the race.
And Pillow in third now. So do we have top three for YF? No, we have Onus in second.
Yeah, Onesi maybe getting taken out there. I'm not sure where he went, but at least there is still a Kiko in the first place position for now. He's going to have to look out for that green. Ooh, a random
Guess it's
green
for the
coming in
red.
again for Pillou, but it still looks to be a decently solid race for YF.
Yeah, YF having four members in the top six, I think. So that's you can't really complain about that.
Yeah, but a not too bad race for DY either there. Not what they were looking for, but you know, they were able to finish 1-3.
Yeah, the thing that's unfortunate for DY now, it's these spots are really hard to pick a good track for. Because what do you pick when you're 1-3-7?
Mhm.
Animal Crossing, great response, if you ask me, as an ARC member.
Yeah, absolutely no bias there, but DAC, one of those tracks that is picked by Dynamite in situations like these where they're not too sure what to go, they just go Animal Crossing. And for better or worse, there are 4 seasons they could get that may or may not help them.
Yeah, getting something like Winter would probably greatly benefit them, I think, for
Hmm.
because it's easier to catch up on Winter because of the lower traction. But we get Fall. Fall is the most pleasant season to watch in this game and on this track. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited. That's my favorite one.
yeah, indeed. I am also a fall appreciator. It's going to be very interesting to see the strategy from DY here, starting 1-3 and then having a few players back there. Looks like we're going to see some players bagging here.
I mean, it is a very, very strong banging track. You can use shrooms really well on the beach and on the ending cut and in the beginning. So you can basically use shrooms wherever you want to. So if you get 10 coins, lap one, you're almost set no matter the position.
Yeah, and on top of that, with all of the items being suspended on the glider, a shock could be race ending for any team who has the misfortune of being shocked on that glider and not getting any of the boxes at all. So there will probably be a bit of a bagging battle, but for right now, we're up to Pillou, who is in first place here.
I think Pillow did not dodge that red. I did think Pillow did. But top two for YF. Who is that Waluigi? It's low.
Low here now, and low with a red in second. A backspam from Holland. I'm not too sure about that play, but I guess he had more protection. Fire up from low connects, so he is now, well, the fire from low
Ooh,
connects again, so, oh, well,
we do see a lot of members of the top spots getting killed, and this is really bad for Low now. Low needs to get 2 items at the next set if they want to catch up. But we also
yeah,
see
for
Pillow
sure.
in the back. Do we still have YF top two?
I think we might be looking at that. Very interesting to see how many people got hit on that end of lap 2 section there. Low with good items here, DY2, because with all of those players getting taken out, it sort of put Dynamite in a position where they could catch up, and I think we just saw a 1-3-5.
For yeah,
Very
super
solid
solid race for
race.
DY.
I think that was a 1-3-5-6-8-10. So the track pick worked out. I honestly think that although Low got trailed out there at that lap 3 starting segment, him being able to land the fire on those YF members who had shrooms and make them burn those shrooms was a crucial part of that race.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the end of lap 2 really decided a lot of that race, and we did see a lot more YF members get hit than DY members for that.
Yeah, now a water park from Dynamite Alpha. I honestly have never really seen them pick this before, so I think it's interesting to see them going water park here. Big Blue from YF is more of a classic track pick from them, and we're heading to Big Blue.
Yeah, Big Blue, definitely a weird kind of track, because like you want to be a bit behind first when you get to the cannon, or at least from my experience, because then you get those really juicy, maybe triple shrooms, maybe a star, stuff like that. So being first halfway through is maybe not the best on this track.
Yeah, I would agree. There's pretty much always two situations, two scenarios that can happen on Big Blue. Either one team gets a very big breakaway, and it's very hard to catch up because of the lack of if you don't pull shock, there's no really cuts at the end. But if there is a shock, or if the spots are very mixed come the cannon glider, you could just pull up into those top spots and secure a second, maybe a first, just by having a broken item up there.
Yeah, because that definitely happens with cannons in this game. So let's see what happens. You have a really tight pack aside from that Rosalina. Maybe they are going for shot. Oh, Pillow getting hit there.
Pillou is just getting menaced by greens today. He's probably not very happy at the amount of triple greens that wind up connecting with him. But we just saw mayhem happen in the pack, at least two players dying, and
And let's
Pillou
see what
having to
Oxen
take a
get.
single.
Four
Oh my
reds in second
goodness.
place. That's amazing for low. But
Yeah,
all of them got destroyed in that collision.
yeah, a plant I think from Holland connecting, and that was really huge for YF. Even though we're looking at a 1-3 from DY, 1-4 now, uh, that put YF in a much better position.
Yeah, and we see a lot of YF members passing now. Everyone will got over. Nice. Is that? Did
That is a
DY keep
Kiko
first?
in first. DY did keep first,
Ooh.
but I think we're going to be looking at a 2-3-4. 2-3-4 from YF, but I think a 5-6 from Dynamite, and 1-5-6-9-10-11. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but on Big Blue, I don't think Dynamite should consider that a bad race on Yoshi family's track pick there.
No, Big Blue is another track Yoshi family always have liked and done well on. So yeah, getting an even race on the opponent's track pick, you can't really complain.
Yeah, Dynamite Alpha now only down by 10 here. Um, they're in striking distance. I'm gonna go with the TM. Their plan here is probably to have 5-6 pull shrooms and be able to take cut there and support Akiko in first. And Grumble Volcano coming out from Yoshi family. I'm interested to see their strategy there.
I mean, Grumble is a really, really solid front run track, but there's also a lot of like open space. So items are, you have a lot of opportunities to use your items well. But we do get twisted. So let's see if the DY members can pull those shrooms we were talking about.
Yeah, that is a solid track pick for Dynamite. Even if they don't pull shrooms, this track is more of a toss up, and I think it leans towards the bottom to mid spots, being able to take all these cuts on the track. Specifically, the first cut and then the end cut are very good if you are Dynamite.
Yeah, and we see multiple players having shrooms already. Oh, that green coming from the top.
Yeah, from the sky
Bouncing
there to
around.
connect with low. Bottom two, I think now for DY. But honestly, I don't think bottom two is the worst thing here. If I was low, I would just hit the B button here. The glider allows you to the glider in a lesser way than cannons, but still in a considerable factor. It sort of tricks the game into thinking that first is farther ahead than they are. So if you're stopping back on TM, there is a very high chance for shock.
And you also got the double box at the glider, so that
Hmm
definitely helps. I would maybe have liked to seen the chain there, but I mean, low is in a good position anyways. But
Yeah, no one really going back there here. There is a DK there, but I wouldn't call him considerably far back unless, he could do something at the glider here. But
but we
low
do
in
see
an
the back.
alright position.
We do see the DK being very far behind, and it seems to be on purpose. So maybe there is a shock in play.
Yeah, I don't think Ashaka is in play yet, but I think we're seeing a lot of YF back here. I think this is a bottom three and even maybe like a 7-8 bottom three from YF. Dynamite in all of the top spots right now, and they're really dominating on their track pick.
And having a star in third, that's so good. That's what happens on this track if you just use your items well. You can have some really powerful items in the top
Yeah,
spots.
but a boomerang from Holland is going to add some pressure. I think before that boomerang came out, we were looking at a top four or something of the sort from DY. The fire from YF unable to connect, and right now it appears to be a very solid race. And low coming up and a last minute shock. I I don't think that matters. I think we're looking at a top four from Dynamite.
Yeah, it seems to be a super solid race for Dynamite. Yeah, top
Wow, a top
four,
four,
six,
six,
seven.
seven. Dynamite surging into the lead with that track pick.
DY doing well under pressure, and right now are looking to make the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
for the
Yeah,
first
that
time this match.
Yeah, for sure. That was the first time Dynamite Alpha has taken the lead this match. Now, they can almost taste playoffs right now. That was a massive race for them. They're now up by a considerable margin, whereas they were trailing for most of this match. And now they're able to go a runner, and now it's Yoshi family. The tables have turned for them. Now they're the ones who have to start making a comeback.
And we see Chemo in chat saying it was their shock. And if that was the case, that was a great shock, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly think Akiko pulled that shock there at the end, and they just waited. Once their top four is safe, then Akiko uses the shock, maybe dodges another Dynamite member, and that's home free.
Yeah, it probably was the thing that made them get those 6-7. Was it
Mhm.
6-7 spots? Yeah, 6-7
Yeah,
spots.
but
But
now an even heavier bagger than TM. We're heading to dry desert, and one thing that would be said about this course is that the golden on this track is very broken. So that whoever's bagging, they don't even really need shock. All they need to do is pull like a golden bill or golden triple shrooms, and you're able to basically go from last to a top spot in a matter of seconds.
yeah, getting the golden triple shrooms is lap 2 specifically is really strong on this track because then you can do the cut at the end, the big one, and then you
Hmm.
have enough shrooms to take every other cut you need to take on lap 3.
Yeah, an
So
incredibly broken bagging track. I honestly think it is very hard for the top spots to hold out unless they pull something, to sort of defend against those players who are taking the golden cut. So like maybe triple greens or a horn or something. A backspam hitting chemo. I mean, look at Pillou's items right now.
but do you
Oh,
maybe.
that was a dynamite shock there, and that was a very well timed shock by Dynamite. We see
And
low,
we see
he's
the
going to
golden in
be.
5th.
Hmm. And
Let's
I
see if
think that's Alfie
Low
in
can get
first as
some.
well.
I think Low can also get a shroom here, and if Low gets a shroom here, that's a free win.
A horn, I mean, a horn's not too bad, but he's taking a red here. He's probably just going to try to shroom. Looks like he's going to opt to take sort of a mini ultra here. And he has his teammate in first as well in a star right now, so Dynamite in great positions.
But do we get the second shot? Because that's not rare at all at this track. And we
Yeah,
see Dynamite
looking
in
at the
fourth as
pack.
well.
Yeah, looking at the pack right now, the blue comes out. Dynamite has a horn for that, but looking at the pack, I don't think we're seeing a shock.
Yeah, for sure. But we do see this. The star is actually gonna carry Pillou. Oh no,
The
gets
fire
fired.
coming out there, honestly, Pillow, I think he should have just tried to use that star to put himself in a safer position. A single shroom, not really what you want. Oh, that's
And this may
brutal
be a
for
late
Pillow.
last place for Pillow.
Yeah, it kind of depends. This race for Yoshi family really depends who got last, but I think that was a terrible race for them.
1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 for DY. So that's a winning race for DY.
Yeah, and a bottom three for Yoshi family. DY able to handle that track perfectly. They got that shock, and we saw Low with a golden in second, and Alfie with a star in first. So now Dynamite is extending their lead by a bit, and Yoshi family going to another one of their kind of signature tracks to maybe try to make something happen.
Yeah, Shy Guy Falls is I don't know. I feel like it's a track that's French teams in general have picked a lot through the years.
hmm
It's
I would
always been like a France staple.
Yeah, I would tend to agree on that. I know in the past a lot of French teams picking Shy Guy Falls. Now you kind of only really see it from Yoshi family as, some teams have moved on from the pick, but it's definitely an interesting track because you have a chance to pull shrooms and take a cut at the start, but after that it's more of a runner until that end cut.
Which you can do streamless. So if
hmm
you are really good at that, you can front run this if even if the people behind you get shrooms, you can definitely front run. But we get bone dry dunes instead.
hmm
Really cool track in my opinion. You have the glider for the shock spot, you have a lot of shortcuts, but it's also a pretty okay front run track for the most part.
Yeah, because of the just large amounts of like turns that you see, really tight spaces at the end, it's pretty easy for a team who establishes a front presence here to hold their top spots, barring a shock. Because when you're in that tight spot here that's sort of coming up, and you have items to back spam, it's very hard for the other team to avoid it. And we actually see YF like instantly into
Ooh.
top four here.
Yeah, and we see Pillow in second with 7 coins. Coins is actually kind of hard to get on this track, so
hmm
having 7 coins in second after lap one is a great, great position.
Yeah, and honestly, most people would complain about a coin in second, but if you're Pillou and you have a coin in second and your teammates behind you, now you don't have to worry about going wide for coins at all. You can just chain this horn or hold this horn and then have a coin after.
Yeah, depending on what other people gets, you may or may not want to keep this horn. Keeping it if you don't have any dodges for the blue is definitely the play. But we'll see. The blue may not even happen, but if they can front run, oh, we see Low going for
Yeah.
items.
Now we're basically looking at the tables turning on DY. They held like so much dominance on the past two races in the front and in the back, but now they're just having to go full like on the bagging strategy. We see like almost a it looks like a bottom four from Dynamite right now. And look how far ahead those Yoshi family members are right now.
Yeah, it's exactly what we talked about. Like, if you can get like many people in the front on this track, it's kind of easy to keep that front running presence. If because some people are gonna get hit by items, there are a lot of walls, and yeah, sometimes you just go ahead on this track and
Yeah.
never
And
see back.
already the top three from Yoshi family is crossing the line as we speak. And I actually see a DK up there who is also another Yoshi family member. I think we're going to be seeing a huge race from Yoshi family here.
And we see a late shock, probably pulled it at the last race, but top
Top
five.
5 11. Yoshi family able to capitalize off of that Bone Jai, which was an interesting pick from Dynamite Alpha. Bone Jai, another one of those quote unquote French tracks, if you will, and it worked brilliantly for Yoshi family.
Yeah, Dynamite definitely did a misplay by picking that track there.
hmm
It couldn't have gone worse, or at least almost couldn't have gone worse. And we
Yeah.
do see the war almost tying up. DY still has a 4 point lead, and they
hmm
need to keep this if they want to make playoffs.
Yeah, the pressure for Dynamite right now is extreme. They clawed it all the way back and then set themselves up in a really nice way with chaining that TM and then the success with the shock on Dry Dry. But then, an interesting, I would say questionable pick from them going Bone Dry. But they get their Donut Plains 3. That is a Dynamite staple, if you will. They're very comfortable on the track and they're just going to hope they can get a huge race here and just put YF out of this.
Yeah, that's definitely what they want. They want to end this war right now. They don't want a last race scenario, because anything can happen.
Hmm.
But we see no item for low. It's not a huge deal lap 1, I feel like, on this track. Because you get
Yeah,
a lot better items on lap 2 and 3 because of the pack.
yeah, I
But
would
we do
say
see...
essentially at the start here, even if you miss items, it's much more important to start getting coins and to make that NISP. He does take a red there, but it looks like he still has his teammates up there.
Yeah, and we'll definitely see Low getting a shroom here, potentially. And then it's not that bad if Low can get that count up.
Hmm.
6th place. Who's that red going for? Okay.
It looks like it was going for his teammate there. That's a really rough spot, but he has triple shrooms. Chemo has a star, so they're not in a terrible position. A shock here could be really strong for Dynamite, but it actually looks like they're just going full forward here.
Yeah, and we have some YF members in the top, so it will be interesting to see if they're able to knock them out or not.
Yeah, Low able to throw a red up there. He gets a bit of a bad chain for sure. Only a green in his pocket, but I think right now we're looking at a 2-6 or something from Dynamite. This is not a really great position for them.
And we may have a very
Oh
interesting
wow,
match race.
the red on
Oh,
the
you
line.
can
I
hit a
think that was a
line!
top three. That I think that was a top three from Dynamite, if not more. Top two, 4, 6,
Ooh.
7, 9. That was huge on the line there for Dynamite.
And TRP shaking right now, because they need the Yoshi family win.
Hmm. I mean, if you're Dynamite Alpha, you're out here impressing right now. They clawed back from an early Yoshi family lead. Yoshi family being the number 2 team in this division for a very long time, and right now Dynamite is just securing this war. They're now up by 30, and they might have just punched their ticket to playoffs and won their conference.
Yeah, imagine the difference. Getting a second seed match compared to not making playoffs. And we got Baby Park. I love this track pick. When you have spots like this, the track is all random. It's very, very, very rare to get a top 6 on this track.
Yeah, and just going back to that previous race for a bit, I thought we were just going to see like Yoshi family getting first there, but those reds on the line coming at just the last second to connect to him and Dynamite really getting a massive race because they were able to coordinate and get those reds out as soon as possible.
So if you're YF on this track, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a shock or are you looking for a group run
Yeah,
where you
that
take out every DY member?
hmm That is indeed the question here. I think it's going to have to be a shock. A group run could only really happen. I mean, we see top two from Yoshi family, and that's nice and all, but they're not going to win the war with the top two. I think that the either the Waluigi back there is Yoshi family or Dynamite, but I think Yoshi family just needs to go for shock as their strategy.
But on the other hand, it doesn't really matter if they win or not for
Hmm.
YF. So it will be interesting to see how this race. I think low is fine. Yeah, low is
Hmm.
fine. If you
Certainly,
get the SMP, you're always fine.
because it definitely isn't like a must-win situation for YF. I think at some point like that the pressure there is like still not really an insane amount of pressure on YF, but I would say I think they still want to
Nice
win.
bomb by Alex, I assume, and we see a lot of YF. YF top 3 right now, right?
Yeah, YF here with top three. A bomb coming out. Actually, that's Sporkin first. Now we're looking at a top three from DY. I think it's shock time if you're YF. There's a lot of dynamite up here.
Yeah, but we see Pillow and Last does not have the shock. I did not catch the item of the Rosalina they passed.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually passing Tick me there with the afro and the glasses. The Rosalina being Sporkin first. I think right now it's Asley Dynamite who's group running. Super solid performance by them here to close this war out. You know, they already have almost essentially won if a shock does not happen here because I think we're looking at a top four, top three.
top 3 at the moment, but if Pillow gets taken out, it's I mean it seems to be GG's if the shock isn't happening now, and it
Yeah,
doesn't.
there's no shock. TRP slamming their desks, Dynamite pumping their fists. They clutched it up here. They won this match. They were down at the start, but they played so well to close it out. Dynamite Alpha punching their way into playoffs in the last few races of this war, able to come all the way back against the number 2 team in the div, and that's just a really, really strong performance by them there.
Yeah, they couldn't have asked for a better way to end the season for sure. Getting the YF win, which they may meet in playoffs.
Yeah, actually, I think we're looking at a rematch for the playoffs now. It's going to be DYYF because I
Yeah,
think YF being now the YF is the wild card, so they're third seed. Dynamite Alpha now second seed, and fourth seed going to MA here. So what we have to look at for playoffs now is MA with a rematch against IF, who MA and IF being very evenly matched teams. MA being sort of the only team that's really challenged IF in this div, and then the rematch for YF, the redemption. And I think YF now is going to have it out for DY in this semifinals.
let's see. Yeah, that's exactly. Chat is agreeing with us, it seems. And yes, do we have an announcement to make, Aaron?
I believe we do have an announcement to make. A tournament, I believe, that we have a graphic for, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, we do have tables up though.
Yeah, able to look here now. Dynamite Alpha was in the wild card, but that is going to be updated. They're now going to sit atop their division, as well as Melodia being in second. So our playoff picture for D3 now being number 1 seed Inkling Fingers, number 2 seed Dynamite Alpha, number 3 Yoshi Family Galaxy, number 4 Melodia. So that's what we're looking at now. And a tournament we have to announce here. The second season of the Mario Kart Professional League, now operated on MKC.
and yeah, this is really exciting stuff. Having it
hmm
on MKC, it's just that's where you want it to be.
Yeah, and I would definitely say a bit of an extra incentive for everybody who would consider playing this. There is a $200 prize pool, US dollars, which, is pretty juicy for any team interested in playing. And the matches, instead of being late night, which they typically are, the matches are now between 2 and 5 Eastern. So that's accommodating both, American teams and European teams now.
Yeah, so you have really no excuse. Sign up for this tournament.
Yep, and, you said it better than I could. With that being said, I would like to thank everybody for joining us. I think that was really all we could for. You know, maybe a bit biased for the underdogs because you love an underdog story and you love a team to clinch playoffs in that manner. But I think that was a really close war. Dynamite Alpha played out of their minds after Yoshi family being so solid at the start. So for me, I would like to thank everybody for watching that, and I think that was a great war.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to cast with you today, and huge shout out to Marlin as always lately for hosting
hmm
the stream as well.
Yeah, and with that said, see you guys next time.
See ya.